Hello, my wonderful Nollywood fans throughout the diaspora. This is Coach Cece, and welcome back to another So Walking in Wisdom. And today I'm so excited to share with you my character analysis for the movie Arike. I love it. Now, there are many who are doing movie reviews, so please be sure to support them and consider the movie reviews. For me, as a leadership coach, I'm all about the characters and the depth of each character and the plot of the movie and how the character is able to build resilience, build empathy, level up, and overcome indeed. And hence the reason why I love Nollywood. Nollywood indeed does it all, shares it all, and tells it all. And today, indeed, we're going to look at my long-awaited movie, sponsored by Badan Stefan Television, and it's the movie Arike. And here is Sonia Uche's Instagram. So before we get into today's analysis, and it's going to be a little different from my regular analysis, I'm going to give you 10 reasons why you should watch the movie Arike based on the character and the lessons learned. If you have not start following Sunya Uche, we encourage you to do so, of course. And if you have not watched her movies Off Balance, I did a character analysis for that. Please be sure to watch Off Balance, sponsored by Uchenna Mubano Television. This was wonderful, and it's really about the plight of females, um, global females, and the choices that we make when we're in a position of power. And sometimes our past affect us. I did a character analysis on that. Please be sure to go to my platform over here on Social Walking in Wisdom and be sure to subscribe. This platform is relatively new and it's not about the number of subscribers, but individuals who are viewing. And if you're able to glean from these wonderful movies, I say way to go. That's the inexpensive, cost-effective, loving way to do so. So here you could see the analysis for Off Balance. And the question is this toxic femininity? Or is she just really a victim of circumstances, right? You have to watch the movie to find out and then watch the character analysis. Of course, we have done one for Half of Me. We have Accidentally Us, which I loved. We have Uche Nancy's My Fighters. You have Chances by Sunya Uche Television. Bitter or Better is still on. So please be sure to feature the character analysis. And this is true only if you're ready to level up, only if you're a Nollywood fan, especially a fan of Sonia Uche, only if you're ready to do the work. And this is the thing, family. When a person's ready to do the work, that means they have looked the man or woman in the mirror and have owned the challenges, and we all have challenges, owned the character flaws because we all have flaws, and make a vow now that you know better, you desire to do better. And we give you quick, easy tips to get a job done. And today's movie is no different. But before we go, we have to be sure to follow up with Sonia Uche Television. She's at 904K. Let's make it 1 million strong and support this young lady as well. Of course, clearly you could see her movies doing well. And before we get into today's movie, Enrique Sonia Uche gave us a reason why we should watch Arike. So let's go to her platform on Instagram and hear what she has to say. Why you should indeed watch Arike. Let's listen. Yeah. Sure. YouTube channel. Now we started Arike. And this is what I have to say about them. A mother, father, see, you nurse the child. Just all I have to say. And that's the charge coming from Sunya. That's the charge coming from Sunya Uche herself as the reasons why you should see Arike. And I couldn't agree with you more. Today we're going to give you um 10 character lessons that you can glean from this wonderful movie, Irike, where Sunya Uche reversed time and she went back a few years. She's a teenager in this movie and she acted a role. This beautiful lady to the right is no other than Bayadun Stefano Stephen. So she's the owner of the television platform and she is the executive producer in this movie and the father, absolutely wonderful, wonderful cast and crew. Her best friend, wonderful cast and crew. And since we've started doing the character analysis for Nollywood movies, this particular movie detail every single lesson to date, which we discussed. And that's why today we're simply just going to give you the top 10 that's in this movie. Hence the reason you should listen to Sonia Uche and go ahead and support this wonderful movie, Arike, currently at 318,000 views. We could do a lot better than that. And forward it to every mother, every godparent, every teacher, educator, supporter, community activist, every child, every teenager, everyone that has a friend or bestie, because it's all based and wrapped around communication, respect, influence, social media, um, resilience, overcoming, and it's faith-based. I'm not going to offer much scripture because this movie offers a lot. So let's just get right into it. So number one for me would be the importance of communication. And in today's social media platform, this is what the view I would have for communication. My apologies right here. I should have had it ready and queued. Consider your teenager. They have access to all this level of communication, so many different platforms from TikTok to Instagram, right? You have YouTube, and the list goes on and on. And then they have the gadgets, the laptop, the Apple phone. There's a lot of distractions, and what this all means is noise. So if you have a teenager and a young adult, and all of this is going on day in and day out, 24/7, 365, this means they are in information overload. And with all the noise, are they listening to what you're saying? So you need to really break it down, spend some time with your teenager, your young adult, and if that means dinner time, lunchtime, where the phones are off so they can really pay attention to what you're saying, that advice, that's going to be pretty awesome. So communication is number one for this movie. Number two, we spoke a lot about it on this program. We spoke about, indeed, friendships. And we've stated you want to stay away from the frenemies. You want to have friends. In life, you will have enemies. But to me, the more crucial part is paying attention to your frenemies. So we indicated on this platform and in various character analysis videos that show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. And these are some of the similar phrases that have been used in the past. Show me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. So this movie, it had a friendship base. I would say based on the parental part of it and the teenagers part, right? Enrique, Sonia Uche's character, she had a best friend. And of course, with best friends, you influence each other. So while no one is perfect, and as a teenager, as a young adult, you will make mistakes, right? It's about the support that the person gives, my apology. And in this particular movie, you have to see it to see what the friend did. And the friend's response was different from the parental response. In this case, in this particular movie, Arike lost her mom a few weeks or months ago to cancer. So her father was raising her. And within raising her, um, he's trying to play the role of a mom and dad, but of course, really is a father hat, but giving sound advice. You'll also come to find out that he's a Bible teacher, and Arike, Sonia Uchi's character, is also choir director. So they have faith-based roots. They're deep rooted in their community, and they are people of faith amidst the challenges that they are facing in their personal life, like losing a wife and a mother. Things happen, and they continue to have responsibilities at the church as a Bible school teacher and as a choir director. So you have faith related or faith-based community initiatives that's going on throughout the movie as well. But friendship was the part of discussion in this particular movie. And we spoke about before in another character analysis, we spoke about the differences between friends and acquaintances. And it's important to really have the right friends during your valleys and your peaks, right? And the question is, your friend is a person who will support you. I would like you to view this particular movie, to determine whether Arike's best friend was a friend or a frenemy indeed. But that's lesson number 2, friendship. Lesson number 3, I would say, is about raising up a child the way they should be raised. So let me just go to my quotes here, and that can be found in Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. So that's number 3. And I would say we've used this before in another character analysis video. And this is important because in this storyline, he is currently a single father. He just lost his wife. Now, Rike is old enough. She's a teenager, getting ready to take her exam. So she's old enough to really get the foundational training how to be a young woman from her mom before passing. But it's still now the father's responsibility to continue what the wife did and raise a woman of virtue, a virtuous woman indeed. Again, it's foundational. Children shall make mistakes. Hence the reason as a parent, you have to do your very best to train them up. When given that time and they decide to go left as opposed to right and go against your advice, based on that foundational training, 99% of the time they will return to the foundation. They would have made their mistake, they would have learned from their mistake, and it would be a very painful experience, but they're going to return to that center point. Hence the reason the third is all about training up a child the way they should be raised. It is very important in this very influential social media landscape that we live in. Now, the third one I would say is because this message is definitely for everyone. So please be sure and be mindful of that. I think that's the fourth one, right? So it's for everyone. So the first one is communication. The second one is friendship based. The third one is raising up a child as a parent the way they should. And the fourth one, here we go, is for everyone. This is a movie. It knows no age, gender bounds. It's a family movie, it's a faith-based movie, and it certainly is for everyone. Number 5 there, a plethora of lessons learned. I don't want you to miss it. So I want you to really view the movie, but consider what we spoke about on this platform. Going on social media and developing a digital footprint. So you can imagine a young person who doesn't have a digital footprint, and then the first one that was created was not in her favor. I'll just leave it as that. So it's important to monitor your children's presence on social media and understanding every upload is a digital footprint. Now, in my coaching practice, I advise my clients the importance of aligning their character today with their historical footprint, their digital footprint, what they posted in the past. It's important that that's aligned with who you are today, regardless of how dark your past is, right? But for younger ones, it's so important that parents be mindful of their even creating digital footprint too early in life. Now we're going to look at 1, 2, 3, 4. Number six is we're going to consider parenting as a whole, and the question we ask is whether can a mother raise a son, a responsible son, and can a father raise a responsible daughter? And my response is absolutely yes, but with the village, but with assistance, but with some foundational layers already laid. I certainly don't recommend while we have to make best and we have to make lemonade out of lemon, I certainly don't recommend a male or female, mom or dad, someone who desires to be a parent and intentionally take the route of being a single mom and dad intentionally in this age. You need a village, you need help. And if you're going to do it, you want to select someone that is your gender. So if it's a mother, a daughter, and if it's a father, a son. Though faith-based, I recommend a mother and a father with that child. That's the way the creator created it. And as a woman of faith, that would be my optimum recommendation. But it is challenging when you have females raising boys and then you have males raising girls. Anything is possible, but it does become more challenging. So just be mindful of that. Then we're going to look at, I believe, number seven. It's all about building resilience, and we saw a lot of that, understanding the importance of building resilience. And one of the first steps is about asking your creator for forgiveness, asking the God of Israel for forgiveness. And so that is a very huge part. Overall, we can say it's about repentance, but first you need to start with your creator, asking your creator for forgiveness. So this movie had a lot of I am sorry going around. So again, be sure to be mindful and watch this movie. And then there's another part of forgiveness many of us forget. So that would be, I believe this is number 8. We're looking at self-forgiveness is very important. This reels into having an understanding of moving in a direction of healing and having an understanding that you're on your road to redemption. Right? It is a step process. So without asking your creator for forgiveness and just thinking it's okay, what will happen is that you are likely going to do it again. And in this particular movie, you're going to learn how that promise was made and when she asks for forgiveness in terms of her creator, her father, and her friend, and everyone else in between. So again, there were a lot of I'm sorry's going around in the entire movie, and rightfully so. Many a times in this day and age, we don't say we're sorry. We are regretful, and sometimes we mourn within, and we have regret. But very rarely do we go to that person that we offended and say those words. I am sorry. If you're looking at repentance, that really goes down the line of healing for redemption. You have to go to that person that you offended and actually say, I am sorry, if indeed you are sorry. So be mindful of that. But self-forgiveness is also a huge part, learning to forgive yourself. Many a times we may go to our creator, ask for forgiveness, and go to the person and ask for forgiveness, but we still haven't forgiven ourselves. And what happens is that you have negative recordings rotating in your mind day in and day out, and you have to be able to release it. So it starts with also asking yourself and forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. We spoke about communication. And then the redemption part is really breaking free. It is so important that when we consider holding on to the past, holding on to our mistakes, holding on to someone who offended us, holding on to the person who wronged us. And you're going to see in the next couple of movies that are coming up, what happens when you hold on, it doesn't benefit you. You're not able to move on. so that you can be happy and joyful. So you must break free. Break free from those shackles, the mental shackles, the emotional shackles, even if it's a physical shackle in your mind where you cannot move. You have to break free for redemption to take place. So this movie covers redemption in and of itself. So I didn't really do it in order that I had it, but to sum it up, this movie is about communication, friendship. It's for everyone. It's about lessons learned. It's about parenting. It's about resilience, redemption, forgiveness, including self-forgiveness, and it's about healing. It's taking you to that next level and really setting yourself free, liberation. So I wasn't really counting. I prayed that was 10. And what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about the movie Arike? If you haven't seen it, please be sure go see it. Let's have a conversation about the importance of what our young people are doing, the importance of surrounding yourself with right friends, and also building good character so when someone dares you, you can literally stand up for yourself and say, well, that doesn't work for me, right? As opposed to fall for the okey doke, fall for the deer, and you end up with the hot potato. And I have to say this, and this is not a direct quote, but this was part um, of Arike, what she stated. She said, why do women have to carry the blame and the load and the shame? When normally when something happens, it takes two. And this is indeed a global phenomenon. Do you agree or do you not agree? When something takes place, whether it's at a job, whether it's at the home, whether it's in your community, do you find yourself as a woman taking the bulk of responsibility, blame, and shame for what took place as opposed to your male counterparts? Leave your comments if possible. We would love to hear from you. Once again, if you have not subscribed to Social Walking in Wisdom, please be sure to do so and join us on this wonderful transformational journey. It could only take place one step, one intent at a time, which begins with you. And if you have not listened or seen or subscribed to any of Sonia Uche movies or to Sonia Uche television, please be sure to do so as well. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Social Walking in Wisdom. And as always, lessons learned indeed. Shalom.